Hello, music fans. You're watching Death by Unicorn, where we talk about metal, rock, and prog music. And this is New Music Picks 2026. I'm going to talk about 4 new albums that came out on February 13th, 2026, and I'll talk about them in my order of preference and give my quick first impressions of them, starting with an album called Way of Perfection by a band. Not sure how to pronounce their name. If I were to say it like an English person, I'd say Primaluce. But they're a French band, so maybe it's Primaluce, but I think they are also founded by Italian members, so maybe it's Primaluce. Not sure, but this I think is the 9th album by this band based in France, but founded by an Italian Stefano Primaluce. I guess it's his last name. He's an Italian producer and multi-instrumentalist. And this is progressive metal / rock. I'm putting this in my excellent tier. Never heard of Primaluce before, but it looks like they're based in Paris, led by Stefano. And their Bandcamp says core members Andrea Rocci and Marco Adami are joined by an international session network for studio and live work, including the Darknet Army Collective, which consists of French and Swedish members, and Austria-based collaborations. Now, it's kind of weird. I'm not sure how many albums they've done for sure. Rate Your Music only had 2 albums before this one listed, but on Spotify and Bandcamp, they released 7 studio albums and 1 live album in 2025 and 1 studio album in 2024. I'm not sure how you release that much music in 1 year in 2025 and putting out 7 studio albums. Some of those are instrumental, but this new one here has vocals. When I saw they put out 7 studio albums in 1 year, I thought, oh, maybe they use like AI or something. I don't know how that would be possible. But this new album sounds way too damn good to be AI, or if it is, it sure fooled me. The turning of the circle is an awesome track, and the vocals on this album are amazing. They remind me of Michael Mills from Toe Hider, who I love. Countdown at Dawn has a very catchy chorus. So definitely check this band out if you're a fan of Terra Maze and Toe Hider, as this is similarly catchy and accessible progressive metal, but with some great vocals and instrumental chops. That sounds good to you. Check out Way of Perfection by Primaluce. It's Primaluce. Next up is Converge and their album Love Is Not Enough, the 11th album by this American metalcore band. They've got mathcore, hardcore punk, post-hardcore, sludge metal, and post-metal influences. And I'm putting this in my very good tier. I really enjoyed the last Converge album that was a collaboration with Chelsea Wolfe. That was a cool and atmospheric album. And this album is a very good album as well, this new one, but I'm a weird Converge fan that I really got into them more with their collaboration with Chelsea Wolfe, and that was kind of a departure from their main metalcore, mathcore sound. This new one is more in their typical metalcore, mathcore sound, which usually is the sound I like more than the atmospheric stuff, but for Converge, for some reason, I like their atmospheric project more. So I'm putting this in my very good tier, where their last one was excellent tier for me. But this is still one to check out if you're a fan of Converge and metalcore, mathcore, hardcore punk in general. My favorite track currently is To Feel Something, which is intense, like under 2-minute blistering metalcore, mathcore song. I think 5 beats per bar and stuff like that. Pretty chaotic and dissonant and extreme. If you like the sounds of that, check out Love Is Not Enough by Converge. Next up, I've got one by a band called Sundecay that's called The Blood Lives Again. And this is a debut album by a Canadian band. Got to support the fellow Canadians. And this is melodic, kind of psychedelic stoner doom metal with post-metal, sludge metal, traditional heavy metal, and even a little bit of progressive rock influence in there, I'd say. And I'm putting this in my very good tier as well. Thanks to Rhyme Signatures for putting this on my radar. I saw the review over on that YouTube channel, and that got me interested in this. I'm not usually a big doom metal guy, but I do like some from time to time. Lately, I've been particularly enjoying some of the female-fronted doom bands like Avatarium and Mesa. This one has those similar heavy, slow, crushing riffs like those bands I mentioned, and Black Sabbath, for example. But this has male vocals here, and it has a bit more of a sludgy and stoner vibe than those other bands, reminiscent of Mastodon, which I like. Um, and I enjoyed the track The Blood Lives Again. That really sounds like Mastodon to me, and I love Mastodon. So I'm giving this very good tier because I respect and enjoy it, but I don't know if I could quite cross it over into my excellent tier for me. I'm not sure how often I'll go back to it. I did go back and checked out the EP they did before this from 2018. That's very good as well. So I'll be keeping an eye on what Sundecay does next. If that sounds good to you, check out The Blood Lives Again by Sundecay. And last on my list for this video, it's one that's kind of unusual for me. It's like a pop rock concept album, more leaning towards pop, and it's called The Diary of Elon Lust by Elise Trouw. And this is the second album by this American artist, and I'm putting this in my very good tier as well. I like watching her live looping YouTube videos. Elise is a very talented multi-instrumentalist and singer. She plays drums, bass, guitar, piano, and sings. She can make pretty cool songs with her live loop pedal approach, where she plays every part herself, makes loops and builds upon them. So I've been watching some of those in the past before this, though this is a bit of a departure. It's very different from her previous stuff. Uh, Her previous live looping stuff, I found it didn't translate as well into her recorded music on albums being super engaging for me. It was more interesting for me to watch her do it live in a live looping style rather than just like listen to the album. So I preferred watching the YouTube videos rather than listening. But for this one, this works more as an album. It's maybe less, if you like the live looping stuff, this is more gone towards just like bubblegum pop almost. Um, but this is more of a concept album. It's more of an art piece. Single I heard from this album ahead of time is called All You Need Is Lust. That's When I heard that, I just thought, oh, this is really strange. It's different. It's an odd kind of track for her. Had an odd music video with dancers dressed up as breasts, cherries, feet, blow up dolls, and stuff like that. And it looked like Elise is dressed up like Justin Bieber almost. But it's just a character she's playing, a male character with like a mustache and kind of a Justin Bieber haircut. And that song, All You Need Is Less, it's just a pop song, simple drum beat with some cool, big, soulful chords. And that's what made me realize the album's going to be a concept album. The single introduced the character Elon Lust, a fictional character that represents an exaggerated version of modern masculinity. And the project satirizes misogyny through humor and discomfort, pairing chilled rhythms with sharp, ironic lyrics. Great concept album. You don't see those that often in pop music, and it manages to be funny and sarcastic and have a strong feminist message that critiques men's obsession with seeing women as sexual objects and trophies rather than people. But it's also just catchy and funny and enjoyable. There's some explicit lyrics here and uncomfortable topics, so definitely don't listen to this one around kids, but it's a cool album. Perfect Girl is a catchy song talking about an idea of taking different body parts from different women to make the perfect woman. And then there's some other fun tracks like BJE 18 and A Little Blood. They're all funny, they're all uncomfortable. I'm not even going to really be able to say what they're about on here in case there's any kids watching, but check this out if you want to hear some great conceptual pop music with humor and a message. That is The Diary of Elon Lust by Elise Trouw. And that's it for my first impressions on these 4 albums that came out on February 13th. What do you think of these albums? Let me know down in the comments. And did anything else come out recently that you think I might enjoy? Also let me know. And if you like metal, rock, and prog music, you're in the right place. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. so you can stay in the loop on when I post new videos. My next video in this series will come out in about a week's time, where I'll be giving my first impressions on new music from Good Tiger, Mumford & Sons, Silosis, Abstracted, and I'm even going to throw in another pop one with Hilary Duff. I don't do that too often, usually focus on metal and prog and rock, but I'm dabbling in the pop from time to time as well. So stay tuned for that, and peace out.